China forcing political dissidents into camps. The CIA assassinating journalists that probe a little too deep. A subreddit banning genocide denial. What do all of these equally horrible events have in common? That's right, it's what Sir Joseph Orwell warned us about in his hit book 1984. And no, I have not read it. r/political compass memes. This is the place where the basic violations of our human rights took place. What violations, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. Recently, they released a brand new set of rules, and these rules, oh god. I'm gonna run down them one by one because that is the only way you can take in all this authoritarianism. Rule 1, no direct threats of violence. Jesus Christ, it's gone too far already. How can it possibly get even worse? How can it? No telling people to kill themselves? What is this, Soviet Russia? Are the secret police just gonna like bang down my door? What is this? It can't get worse than this, luckily. This is it. There's nothing left. No slurs! No slurs! I think I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna throw up. No equating a race to animals? I can truly see why this was so controversial for Redditors. Then we got no targeting specific groups with hate, no portraying the whole LGBTQ community as groomers and pedos, or calling them slurs. I love how they had to put that twice. No portraying transgender people as mentally ill. And last but not least, no genocide denial. Now, these new rules weren't exactly taken lightly by the community. I believe the general attitude was summed up quite well with this meme. Let me describe this real fast. In the background, we have what appears to be a civil rights protest. Then we have police officers labeled with the Reddit logo and the mod team. And on the table in front of them, we have batons labeled be gay, no auth rights, no face the wall, which for those who don't know means to be executed, no genocide denial, and no slurs. You know, exactly like a civil rights movement, with just a few small differences sprinkled in here or there. I'm fucking serious. This is literally 1984, okay? So stop saying this is 1984 jokingly, because this is literally fucking 1984. Now, this guy is probably memeing, but the dude below him isn't. Yes, I remember reading that on page 568. Some of these reactions have been a mix between funny and really sad. Alright, I've decided I will be deleting my Reddit account at the end of the week. This is blatant censorship in favor of radical ideology. I'm gonna check in on this guy in 2 days and see if he follows through. My refutation is that every society has seen revolt when pressures that be are too binding. There has and there will always be those who see tyranny for what it is. To not fight back against it is to forsake the sacrifices of those made before you. Reddit is diseased, rotten to the core, an isolated space where a small handful of individuals with strong political motivations reign. There's no saving it. But all that means there is a need for a new space, a new equivalent, free of their corruption, built from the ground up to be better. Find it or make it and spread it. To defeat the admins, one must take away their user base, and the only way to do that is to offer something better, something freer. Oh geez, I need to catch my breath. Newsflash, kid. You ain't the anti-hero you think you are. You're a 15-year-old who wants to say the N-word. Some of the stuff written, though, has a surprisingly high amount of effort put into it. But also, Jack the Ripper put a lot of effort into the people he murdered, so I guess that doesn't really count for much. I've never seen so many people that belong in the main character convention than I did today. Like, bro, you aren't the savior of free speech. Chill the fuck out. How did it get this bad? How can a community have such a collective freak out over the simplest of rules? I will put it in terms the average political compass user will understand. Degenerate theory. Okay, that sounds bad, but hear me out, okay? Here, let me just change my flair real fast. If you have an online forum and it gains any amount of traction, you will attract the filth, the bottom-feeding vermin that inhabit the internet. Now, unless you purge these people from the general population, remove this stain, they will spread, they will multiply. Ban them, bully them, quarantine them, it doesn't matter. The only objective is to get them out, because if you don't, they will get you. And I really don't want to sound like the bad guy when I say that. But it's true. I was on this subreddit around 2.5 years ago. It was pretty funny. No one really taken anything seriously. Just people goofing around in the inherent hilarity of politics. Then things started to go south. Hosts started becoming less whimsical and much more, this. Yeah, sure, man, sure. I'm sure she's 17. And as the degenerates started to take over, the good folk who did not like saying slurs abandoned ship, and we were left with absolute shit. These communities destroy themselves, given a long enough period of time, like a cancer, multiplying until it becomes unsustainable. And now, with the mod team cracking down on these degenerates, they run into a problem. The degenerates are the only ones that remain. It's like that scene in A Nightmare Before Christmas. The guy gets his skin ripped off and it's revealed he's made out of bugs. That is the subreddit. It is only goddamn vermin left. And the way this will be resolved will most likely end with the subreddit being banned, as people don't know when to shut the fuck up. Like, these ain't hard rules. Some would say they are basic human decency, but these folk, they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until the dam eventually breaks and the filth gets washed away. Outro time, baby. That intro wasn't great. I tried, I really did, but DaVinci Resolve wasn't built for 3D stuff. Well, that, and I also kind of suck at it, but let's not talk about that. That's not the point. So I've loaded up a bit of Blender, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit scary. And my PC is a little bit of a potato, but I'm trying to learn it, you know? So I can do some fun effects. Unfortunately, that takes quite a bit of time, so I will be uploading probably a bit less. I mean, unless I decide to drop it, like I did last time. But that won't happen now, I swear. Probably. Well, subscribe, and I'm off.